Hi, this is Christorella from Christorella.com. I answer a lot of questions about CSS, and I find the greatest tool for helping me investigate CSS problems is Firebug, an add-on for Firefox. To install Firebug in your Firefox, go to Tools, Add-ons, Get Add-ons, and search for Firebug in the search bar, and then add to Firefox. This will install Firebug 1.3 on Firefox 3.0.5 if you are doing it today. Once Firefox has restarted, we can get to using Firebug. I have a fresh install here of Thesis from DIYthemes.com, and one of the most common questions in the early days of Thesis was how to remove this line in between the content and the sidebar. So to investigate that, using Firebug, we click on the little bug icon down the bottom of the browser, which pulls up this pane with the HTML of our page on the left and the styles on the right. To inspect our page, we click Inspect, and then we can hover over the different elements which get surrounded by a blue border. So if we can find an element near that line, we'll have a look at it. So now, in the HTML pane, div ID content is selected, and in the style pane, we see all the styles relating to the div ID content. And there's nothing there to do with borders or backgrounds, so it's not likely to be causing the dividing line. So we'll have another look at our page, and here we'll select the content box. And the content box does have a background. It's a 1x1 pixel image which is being repeated on the y-axis of the page, so that's most likely the cause of the dividing line. And if we click to the left of the style, we can disable it, and it's now gone from the page. But what's really cool about Firebug is that it's only interacting with your browser as you see it, and no one else can see that change, and the change isn't permanent. It goes away as soon as you reload the page. So what Firebug helps us do is identify that the line is caused by content box, and then we can give content box a background of none in our custom CSS file to remove that line. And now we can go and investigate other elements of the page if we want to. So if we have a look at the title, and we select the title link, we can see here that here's the title link, and it's inside a paragraph with the ID logo. And here is the color for that link. And if we go down, we can see that from the paragraph logo, the link is getting a font size of 3.6. So we can change that, and we can make it really big if we want to. And then the tagline gets a bit washed out, so maybe we should change that, and instead of using inspect, we can also click on the elements in the HTML pane to select them and deal with their styles on the right. So now we can change the font size of the tagline on the right to, let's say, 3M, and we can even add styles by double clicking in this area. And when we start typing, say text, then Firebug knows the CSS attributes that we can use, and it suggests that we might want to use text align, which I do. So I'll tab across and I'll give text align a value of right. And now the tagline is aligned on the right. And so you can play with your page as much as you like in Firebug, and then you can decide on the changes you want and put them in your CSS file. The other thing that Firebug is really great for is in investigating other people's sites. So say you want to see how something is done on Christorella.com. For example, the navigation. I think the text is kind of spiffy, and most of it's actually default Thesis. Thesis is pretty spiffy. But if we have a look here, the background is a really dark grey. The font is white. The line height is 2M. And the really interesting bits are down here, where text transform is on uppercase. So using CSS, you can actually change the form of your letters. In the HTML, we can see that the link is actually all lowercase, but we can use text transform uppercase to make it all uppercase. And also the letter spacing is 2 pixels, which really gives it heaps of snap, I think. Another interesting thing on this page is that the 2 boxes on the right, when you scroll, they stay there. So say you wanted to investigate how that happened, you could inspect those boxes and you would see that their position is fixed. So they are fixed in your browser, and their position is right 0 as well, which means that they are 0 pixels from the right. So if we disabled position fixed, the boxes would now be at the top of the page. If we had fixed but not right 0, they would be fixed in the browser but at the left, which is the default. That's about the size of it for using Firebug to investigate CSS and HTML. It's really handy when you can't figure out something, say elements aren't lining up properly and you're trying padding none and margin none and you're just going crazy with all kinds of different CSS and nothing's working. You can select the element here on the left and then you see all the styles relating to it on the right, and you can figure out what the heck is going wrong. So next time you have a CSS question, try Firebug, and I really hope that you get to know it and love it like I do. Thanks for watching.